Hello everyone, my name is Nikhil sir. आप support classes Abdurrahman Road, Shulapur. We have started 9th chapter of class 9 NCERT, that is force and laws of motion. In that we have studied some parts of this chapter. Now we will move towards on next point of the chapter, that is balanced and unbalanced forces. Please student, put your textbook in front of you while watching this video and be ready with your pen, pencil and notebook. Figure 9.3 shows a wooden block on a horizontal table. See here, if we see below side, here one box is there and here table is there. Two strings X and Y are tied to the two opposite faces of the block as shown. Two strings are there, those who are tied at X and Y. See here on right X is there and on left Y is there. If we apply a force by pulling the string X, the block begins to move to the right. If we apply force to the string X, then the box move to right hand side. Suppose this mobile is there. If this mobile I pull on right hand side, it becomes move towards right hand side. Similarly, if we pull the string Y, the block moves to the left. In the same way, when we pull on Y side, this block moves to left side. But if the block is pulled from both the sides with equal forces, the block will not move. When we apply force on both the side from X side and Y side in this way, that time this block will not move. Such forces are called balanced forces and do not change the state of rest or of motion of an object, and such force is called balanced force. Now let us consider a situation in magnitudes pull the blocks. Now let us you consider a situation. In that situation, two opposite forces of different magnitudes pull the blocks. In this case, the block would begin to move in the direction of the greater force. Means if I pull tightly on a right hand side, then left hand side, that block will move towards right hand side, because here the greater force is there. Thus the two forces are not balanced and the unbalanced force act in the direction the block moves. Means where the greater force is there, that block moves on that side. This suggests that an unbalanced force acting on an object brings it in motion, and this unbalanced force acting on an object brings in its motion. This we have seen, that is figure 9.3, two forces acting on a wooden block. Now one question is that what happens when some children try to push a box on a rough floor? Now here some children are there. These children are pushing the box on a rough floor. If they push the box with a small force, the box does not move because of friction acting in a direction opposite to push in figure 9.4. Means suppose they means those children are pushing the box with a small force, the box does not move because the friction, those who are friction acting in a different direction, means opposite to the push. Means suppose these are children, here these children are pushing the box on right hand side. If here rough place is there, and they are pushing this box with less force, this box will not move, or it may be moved very less. Next, this friction force arises between two surfaces in contact, in this case between the bottom of the box and floor's rough surface. Means in this case two surfaces are in contact. First, bottom side of the box, this one, and a rough surface where the box is on that surface. Next, let's see what they have given. It balances the pushing force and therefore the box does not move. The children push box harder, but the box still does not move. Means if we apply very less force, the box that time will not move. But if those children apply force harder on that box, that time also that box does not move. This is because the fraction force still balances the pushing force, and this is the reason. Please student, keep in your mind that this is because the fraction force still balances the pushing force. If the children push the box harder still, the pushing force becomes bigger than the friction force. There is an unbalanced force, so the box starts moving. If the children, when they apply harder force than before, it will move that box. Means unbalanced force is acting on that. Here children are pushing with very less. Here in B, children are pushing harder before than the force, and here the children pushing box in more harder than previous. Here the box will move because they are pushing harder than ever, and unbalanced force is acting here. Means fraction force will act here, because and that why the box will goes towards 4. Let's see next. What happens when we ride a bicycle? What will be happen when we ride the bicycle? Imagine that when we stop pedaling, the bicycle begins to slow down. Means when we stop to pedaling to the bicycle, that time the bicycle begin slow. This is again because of the friction forces acting opposite to the direction of the motion, and this is because, and this is the reason is that the friction forces acting opposite to the direction of motion. In order to keep the bicycle moving, we have to start pedaling again. Means if you want to go for the bicycle, that time we have to start pedaling again. It thus appears that an object maintains its motion under the continuous application of an unbalanced force, and it appears that an object maintains its motion under the continuous application of an unbalanced force. However, it is quite incorrect. An object moves with a uniform velocity when the forces pushing force and frictional force. See here, two forces are there. First one is pushing force and second one is frictional force acting on the object are balanced and there is no net external force on it. If an unbalanced force is applied on the object, there will be a change either in its speed or in the direction of its motion. Means if we apply force on that object, two things will be happen. First, there will be change in speed or there will be change in the direction. If an unbalanced force is applied on object, there will be change in either in its speed or in the direction of its motion. Thus, to accelerate the motion of an object, an unbalanced force is required. Means if you want to accelerate the motion of an object, that time we have to an unbalanced force is required, and the change in its speed or in the direction of motion would continue as long as this unbalanced force is applied. And that's why to change in its speed, if you want to change in its speeds, what will be happen? Would continue as long as this unbalanced force is applied, and this is in the direction of motion. However, if this force is applied, if we apply this force, what will be happen? See here, force is applied, remove completely, the object would continue to move with the velocity in its acquired till then. Means when we applied force, it will remove completely, the object would continue to move with the velocity in it has acquired till then. I think you have understood it better. If any queries there, please student tell your queries, we will solve it. Now after that, next point is there, that is here first law of motion. We will see in next videos. Please subscribe my channel and show your thumb. Thank you.